Hello and welcome back to another Sunday night with me. I would like to thank the 11 people that viewed the first video, but they've gone, run away. They're not here. So can I thank the 3 people who did watch my last video? It was really appreciated, and I'm sure you enjoyed every single second of it. Yes, okay, right. I need to owe an apology for last week. As you know, no expense spared from what I do here. I take a lot of time and care in producing these videos, lots of research in doing these videos, because I really want to make sure that the people that watch this have a lot of information given to them, and it's worth their while wasting at least 18 minutes of their life listening to me waffling on. Now that sounds terrible. Listen to TikTok. Some of the rubbish that's on that is absolutely amazing. I don't know how they do it, really don't. It's just rubbish, basically. What can we say? They just talk total rubbish, and they get millions and millions and millions of people following them. This is probably rubbish, but I won't get millions and millions and millions of people following me. So yes, as you know, I use the latest technology in producing this, i.e. my phone, which is based on my desk here. Now last week you would have noticed that in this small town of Lee there was several earthquakes during my video making. Well, they weren't earthquakes, it was me touching the desk causing my tripod to vibrate violently, as I noticed during the replay. Now I could have just binned it and started again and thought, don't touch the table whilst filming, Mark. Have another go. Nah, I just put the video out there and made everybody feel very, very sick. Well, the 3 people that watched it probably went, the screen was vibrating very, very violently. So my apologies to the 3 people that no longer follow me, and I'm now talking to myself, which I will probably be talking to myself a lot for the foreseeable future. But a man did say, he said, don't give up on your first ever video. Just keep going and going and going till you wear the bastards down. Yes. That's not going to work either. See, I did do a bit of research. You see, I didn't actually research it. I just saw the thumbnail with the bit of text on it. I thought, I'll follow that advice. Could have clicked to read the video and learned a lot more. Nah. That's not happening either. Right, as you see, I do a lot of research into these videos. And I plan and I think about what I'm going to talk about next week, and I completely forget about it, and then next Sunday shows up and I'm like, what am I going to talk about? I can't just sit there for 18 minutes and talk about nothing. Well, actually, Mark, you actually do sit there for 18 minutes and talk about absolutely sweet FA for nothing. Last week was good. I talked about quite a few important things last week. I thought I did all right, even though only 3 people listened to me. Now, this week, I thought I'd start off with a very moral, hard-hitting, hard-punching thing. And obviously, I run a men's support group called Manly, and see, I'm not touching the desk. I'm being really good, because you notice the screen's not shaking too much. That's good. And I was going to talk about the evils of drink. Now, mainly because I'm feeling a bit cocksure of myself, because basically last beginning of January, I went down with a chronic stomach bug. There's been a lot of stomach bugs around here recently, all different sort of various variances of viruses, and I got the painful one. I didn't get the leaky one, I got the painful one. The one where you felt like possibly appendicitis or something like that. Really, really painful. Anyway, lasted about a week or so. I almost sent myself to hospital, but the state of our hospital, I decided best to stay at home and die in peace, rather than go to the hospital. But I didn't need to go in the end. I pulled through. But I pulled through. Now, like all people, I do like a drink at the weekends. Now, my weekends normally start about Thursday. And I enjoy a little tipple, normally a bottle of wine, over the weekend, a few cans of beer, and occasionally a visit to the pub. And that would probably be my drinking thing about. Now, I could give you loads of statistics on alcohol volumes, percentages, and glass sizes and stuff like that. No. Tipple off to the internet and find a Drink Beware or an NHS advice site, and they'll give you shitloads of information on how much you shouldn't be drinking, and you will lie to yourself. You'll go, no, I don't drink nothing like that. No, not me. Nothing, not me. I drink nothing like that. I'm sober. That's a lot of. I don't drink. I don't drink like that. I tell you how you do. We all do. We all lie. We absolutely lie to ourselves how much we drink. So I was going to do that, and yes, and please do look at how much you do drink, because I have seen a lot of men go down the tubes in the last few years due to drink, and it's caused a lot of other mental health issues too. But I've known men to die very, very lonely on kitchen floors, totally intoxicated. They've fallen over and bashed their heads, and they've laid there for days, and no one really knows whether it was a drink that meant they fell over and slipped and banged their head, or they're just unlucky because they lived by themselves and they slipped over and banged their heads. Either way, they lay there for days and days before someone found them. Also, it ruins your life. I know people who've had some very high, powerful jobs, well paid, a lot of pressure, but well paid, company car, loads of staff. I say plenty of money, but they needed a drink to carry on, to handle the pressure. And eventually the drink wins, and they lost everything. And these people wind up sitting in their living rooms on a sofa, just watching their lives go past them, wondering where the hell it's all gone. Plus, not to mention, the damage they're doing to their liver, or has been done to the liver, and the damage to their mental health. These were guys who work for big companies. These were guys who could be was soldiers. Their life has really, like I say, gone to pot. So think about how much you're drinking seriously and do something about it. I'm not saying be a goody two shoes. I'm not. I mean, I'm just decided I'm going to drink socially rather than drinking at home. I'm 58. Yeah, I've enjoyed a good drink over the years, but to be honest, my body's just like, I can't handle it anymore, Mr. Smith. Please don't batter me anymore. Whereas when you're in your 20s, you feel bulletproof and you just drink yourself into a stupor without thinking about it. These days, I've had about 3 cans of beer. It takes me about 3 months to get over it. So, folding my arms because I don't want to hit the desk and cause any major earthquakes in Lee. So please do. And that's the serious rubbish out of the way, and please make note carefully what you drink. Now, I have always fancied. My son did a workshop on stand-up comedy. As you can see, I'm not very funny. I try, but I'm about as funny as a slap round the face and a walk down Wigan High Street, and that's not fun, I can assure you. But I've always fancied comedy, and I must admit, I do have a sort of crazy dream about perhaps going to one of these sort of open mic nights in the middle of nowhere where no one's going to know me. I'm going to walk up on the stage, try and crack a few jokes, try and be funny for 5 minutes, get cans, beers and bottles and God knows what else thrown at me, and then walk off and think, no, not doing that again. But let's talk about some funny stuff that does make people laugh. Now, I mean, my job's quite hard. I deal with mental health. It can be quite tough at times, and I do need a laugh. I do need to find something that's going to make me giggle. And I've written down some notes here, some post-it notes. I've done the earthquake bit and don't drink. So we've done that bit. Now, let's go. Teddy the dog. Teddy the dog, Labrador, and he's got a couple of mates now. Well, over the last year or so, gained a puppy mate, a girl, bitch, I think. I say bitch, yes, bitch. And another sort of scruffy white looking dog. Oh, we all love dogs, but they're the originals, and they're the ones that make me laugh. And I think that poor bloke does a brilliant job, and he's done really well. And that, yeah, Teddy the dog makes me laugh. There's a few people that tried to copy it, and they are funny, but for me, Teddy the dog will always be the first one, the pioneering dog sort of joke to watch, and short little reels on Facebook or YouTube, whatever, or TikTok, wherever it comes from. Most of the time I find it on Facebook. And Teddy makes me laugh, gets up all sorts of tricks, anything trying to parachute his mate out the window to stealing and robbing a bank. That was a good one, that made me laugh. Ordering loads of pizzas, pause on the old computer and that. Oh, that really. So I think we all like Teddy. If you haven't found Teddy, go and find him. Really funny, and it will really make you laugh. It's a dog, it's sweet, it's lovely. Woo, there goes Teddy. Right, now who's next? I've got three. I'll come to them. We all know Steve Bracknell, the Royal Oak. He's like the assistant manager. Now, the first time I saw that show, oh my God, that did make me laugh. Absolutely cracked me up laughing. And one of the reasons that cracked me up laughing was because my dad used to be a Sunday League manager, and we lived on an estate called Eastern Crescent, and it was a council estate, and it was really, really rough. And so I suppose my dad wasn't a manager, not an assistant manager like Stephen Bracknell. He was a manager of a Sunday League team. Now, back in the 70s, the Sunday League teams were tough. People went back to work the following day on a Monday injured. They could have gashes kicked out of them, broken legs, bruises, and kicked in places where they didn't know they had places, and so on. And I always remember, because I was only about 7 years old, and I always remember the famous story where there was a knock on the front door one. I think it was about a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday, in fact. And it was my dad's goalkeeper. And a bit naive at the time, because I was only 7. And the guy stood and knocked on the door, and I opened up the door. He's standing there. He goes, hello, Mark, is your dad in? I go, no, my dad's not in. He goes, oh, right. Basically, I'm in front of the Beak on Friday. I don't think I'm going to make Sunday. In fact, I might be out for the rest of the season. Could you just let Pete know that? Tell your dad I'm in front of the Beak on Friday, and I'm definitely not going to make Sunday, possibly out for the rest of the season. Is that okay? I went, yeah, okay, yeah. I'll tell Dad you're in front of the Beak on Friday, you can't make Sunday, and you might be out for the rest of the season. Yeah, that's it, Mark. Give your dad that message. Okay, see you later, Mark. Oh, bye. And off he goes. So my dad comes back from work that night, and I relay the message, completely naive of what I'm actually saying. And I just see my dad go, bloody hell, I've lost my keeper. What am I going to do about my keeper for the rest of the season? Let alone Sunday. Oh no, I've lost me. I mean, little did I know, basically his keeper had been arrested, was in front of the judge, and basically whatever he had done wrong, he'd been nicked and was probably going to prison for a very long time. And that sort of shows you sort of what my dad's Sunday League football team, the sort of players it was made of, some of the most hardest players you could think of. And in those days, it was a slice of orange and a fag at half time. And that horse oil that stinks, and it makes your eyes water, that during the winter, they bathed in it. Oh, hey, horse oil. Yeah, God, it stank to high heaven, that stuff. And I can remember wearing that. So yeah, that's Steve Bracknell, is the Royal Oak real? Or is it some kind of imaginary team? Because I know you've had your little club shops, and you sell your t-shirts and that. And I know you set up the teams, and it's not really, the Royal Oak is just fictitious, isn't it? Or has someone now gone out there and thought, let's form the Royal Oak for Steve. Almost forgot your name. Yes, for Steve. So that's but he makes me laugh, especially the way he goes absolutely ape shit, and I love the way that he's got his own podcast now on the BBC, I think, on iPlayer too, which is brilliant. You know, he started off on Facebook and he's worked his way up to the dizzy heights of the BBC, which is brilliant. Which I love to see stuff like that, and he is funny, especially when he was trying to talk to some of the England players and coaching on them. That was hilarious. But brilliant, yeah. Keep up the good work. Well done. Right. I would say the best to last, but Pat Smith. Now, Pat Smith is hilarious. He really does make me laugh. And I can see why he's actually a proper comedian. He's not just one of these guys who just rocks up on the, like me, and rocks up and just starts chatting away. He's actually very, very funny. And he's a great observer of the obvious. And he's got a completely different style to other comedians, like breath of fresh air. And he's so right, you know, when he talks about the phoning up people and saying, you know, hi, could you make my life a lot harder, please? That would be really good. And he does that with most things, anything from trying to pay your tax bill to trying to buy something online. And then he's got his army jokes about, you know, he must have some kind of army background because the way he talks. And I mean, I was in the Irish Regiment for a few years, and so I do relate to some of the things he says, and it is funny. But Pat Smith is hilarious, and I do thank you, Pat, and the other people, because you do actually make me laugh, and I do need a laugh. Trust me, there are times in life where I need a big laugh. And so yeah, Pat Smith. I mean, you know, I was trying to explain to other people the other day, because there are people out there who've never heard of Pat Smith. Perhaps I'm the only person. No, I know there are other people of Pat Smith, and you know, and it's like, you know, sort of the way he sort of turns around and says, "Hello, could you keep me on the phone for at least a couple of hours? That'd be great. You know, I mean, I ain't got a couple of hours to spare. I'd rather be doing something else. In fact, you know, I know this phone conversation could only take 2 minutes, but if you can keep me on the phone for a couple of hours, and yeah, play that really warbling, toneless, horrible white noise of the music that drives me completely and utterly nuts, especially after being on the phone for 2 hours. Yeah, plenty of that, more of that, yeah. And if you can make it sort of fade in and out, so I don't know if I'm still connected, and Katie just go completely silent, and I'm sitting there going, I've been cut off after 2 hours. And he'd come back in and go, that's all right, I'm still here. And then when I finally get through, can you give me at least 25 options of what I can do next? Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. And then, charge me. Make sure this call, you charge me for the call, yeah? The 2 hours I'm on the phone, make sure I pay for it. I wouldn't want the company who I'm phoning to pay for it. I really want to pay for it. You know, 100 quid, whatever, 150, make it 200. Yeah, £200 for 2 hours. That works out about £100 an hour. That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be brilliant. And that's what he does. And I must admit, I relate to that does make me laugh. So laugh. Makes me laugh. So yeah, Pat Smith, if you get up a chance, I hope he comes round. If he ever comes down this neck of the woods, Pat, if you ever come to the northwest, can you advertise it? Because I'd love to come and see your show, because I think you'd be absolute stitches. You do on the internet, and I think you're brilliant. So there you go, Pat Smith. Well done. That's my little plug for Pat Smith. Everybody out there, Google, whatever, you know, find him, Pat Smith. Didn't see that on Fly Free. I just threw it straight up and over. Okay, now, Skeleton Man. How many people of you have heard of Simon Webbe? Up until a few weeks ago, I had not heard of Simon Webbe at all. And he's popped up. Basically, he's like a fluorescent skeleton man. And it's just funny. His ADH song is hilarious. And it reminded me, because obviously when I do Manly, you know, I turn to guys, hey guys, I'll be there for you. You know, you just give me a call and I'll be there. You know, and that's what we're there for. We're a men's support group, and I'm there for you guys. I'm going to help you. Just just talk to me. Yeah, and I'm being serious, you know, that's what we do. But he came up with this sketch that did make me laugh. And he basically goes, you sort of got your skeleton outfit on, and basically goes, I will be there for you. Something like that, you know, I will be there. And he goes, I might be drunk, and I might have a raccoon with me, but I will be there. Now, the raccoon might be stolen, but I will be there. And I'll tell you what, it was scary. I mean, that was me. I was sold after that. I love the guy. He makes me laugh. And so he's done a few. And again, I think, God, could you do that on a stage? Does he have a stage act? Because it'll be funny. It's different, you know. Let's face it, you know, no disrespect to some of the comedians that are out there today, but they're predictable. They're boring. You know, it's good to see some fresh stuff coming through. If be it a grassroots levels, I don't know. They might be more famous than what I think they are. I just really just discovered them myself, but I think they're refreshing, and yeah, it's brilliant. Now I've gone way past my normal 18 minutes, and I would love to sort of talk a bit more about comedy, because comedy makes me laugh. Uh, I like to try and be funny. It's comedy's really, really hard. I mean, you know, when you're with friends, you're relaxed and you're chatting, and someone comes up with something, and then the next bit of banter kicks in before you know you're sort of taking the bung out of each other and talking about stories and stuff like that. And and I'm trying, and I've been I've got one story, but it's a bit naughty, really. I don't know if it's but it's sort of touch on it. Bit like my friend I was talking about earlier on his phone, you know, to make life a bit easier. So skeleton's got to go, see his food out, skeleton's got to go. There, gone. Right, skeleton's gone, but go and find him. Pat, yeah, I talked about Pat, and that does remind me of now. I'm 58, and baby making. Let's try and touch on the subject of baby making, because now, obviously, when you go to make babies, sometimes it's quite a deliberate decision. Sometimes it's an accident. But let's say baby making is a conscious decision between two people. Today, wouldn't it be nice if we have a child, darling? Oh yes, let's go and have a child, definitely. Okay, you do realise we're going to have sex in order to have a child. Yeah, we do that every night, don't we? You know, when you're young, you're like rabbits, aren't you? But suddenly, when you introduce the word, we're going to have a baby, all that normal, rampant sex, if you like, sort of dives out the window. It suddenly becomes a game, a system, something we have to do in order to make a baby. Now, we always try the relaxed route, don't we? Let's be relaxed about this, let's enjoy the love making, and we'll have a baby. 3 months later, where's the picking no baby? And you're thinking, well, shooting blanks? Has he packed up? He's gone on holiday, you know, have I worn him out? What am I doing? She doesn't love me. That's what it is. She doesn't fancy me. It's not working. The chemistry's all wrong, blah, blah. So you go for 100 million reasons. But then you start thinking outside the box. How can I improve our lovemaking? How can we make it a bit more interesting? Perhaps to get those love juices flowing. Now, in my time, we had Sky TV. Now, I know there's no, I can't pussyfoot about it. We've all watched a bit of porn in our time. We've all adult porn, sort of, if I can say normal porn, not the dodgy stuff, the normal kind of porn. Yeah. And we used to watch a bit of porn in our baby making days. Now you just pick your phone up, research, bang, and Oh, you have to put your age and name and date of birth in now, don't you? Not that I know that, it's just I've seen the rules and the laws and the regulations. Honest. Yeah, honest, I'm not. I'm past it, mate. I get exhausted just trying to think about porn channels, let alone even trying to find one. Yeah. But back in those days, so now you go blip, bang, it's there. Matter of seconds in it. You just hit a button, and before you know it, it's there. But back in the old days on Sky TV, when as you know, Sky TV had all their adult channels. Well, we used to have what we used to sort of we used to create a little nest, nice cup of drink, bottle of wine, candles, and just to sort of preempt and help get everything flowing, we'd watch some silly old stupid Sky adult porn channels. Now that was not as easy as you thought in those days, because there was no, you couldn't do it on the little remote they gave you. You had to phone, and they'd give you a number at the bottom of the screen. For the following call, phone this number. And I remember one night I got this woman in Glasgow. I know because she must be in Glasgow. She had a broad Scottish accent, and I really presume that she came from Glasgow. And basically, I'm really where the time's clicking, because sometimes this clock just suddenly stops. I don't want to really, so let's just speed this up. So the conversation went something like, "Okay, hello, Sky TV. This is Madge from Glasgow. What can I do for you?" That's a really awful Scottish accent. I can do better than that. So anyway, and it took forever. She wanted to know what my membership number was, my name and my address. Oh my God, she wanted to know what the weather was like. And just wanted to have a conversation. "Oh, you sound like a wee nice lad there." I'm going, I just want to put the porn on the TV, and I just want to get on with it because I'm in the middle of baby making. "Yeah, how long have you been with Sky now? I might be able to give you a wee discount." I'm like, "I don't want a discount. I want to get on." And, "Oh, could you give me your membership number one more time?" And you can hear her just tapping profusely on the computer. You're like, and I'm standing in just my boxer shorts. The wife is looking suitably lovely, ready for baby making. I've been on the phone for getting on for half an hour. All I want to do is make babies, and then let's go to sleep after that, if you don't mind. Just please, we just need a little bit of, help ease things along a little bit, and that's why I'm. "Oh, do you know, if you pay another 15 quid, you can have a whole year's worth of membership, and for 50 quid, you can get an honorary membership." I don't want a fucking membership. I just want to make babies. Please. "Oh, well, I don't know. I'd hate for you to miss out on the special offers. Do you say you're in England now?" Yes, she was an Irish Scottish person. And this went on forever and ever and ever, to eventually, hallelujah, you sit there and you wait for those. I don't think it came on straight away. I think you had to wait a little while before suddenly it cleared, or they did all the software buttons and stuff so that you could get it up. I mean, when I say up, the porno channel up. So yes, that's my useless attempt at being funny. So to those 3 people who have enjoyed listening to me, or they've completely run away, that was my talk tonight on comedy and me trying to be funny, which was crap. And because you can't do it, it's hard. It's so hard. Amongst your friends, you can do it as easily, but you try and do it in front of a camera. Go to pot. But anyway, thank you very much for listening. It's been a good night, and I wish you all a great what's left of your weekend. Stay safe, and I probably won't see you next week, because the last of my 3 viewers have probably legged it by now. So if you do stumble across this and you're willing to waste at least half an hour of your life to listen to me waffle on, great. Thank you. Really appreciated. And if you don't, oh well, it doesn't matter. No one's listening to me anyway. But stay safe. Have a good weekend, and I really look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Like I said, stay safe.